So you want to start your online content business with your kid, but you haven't done it yet. And that's because, you're so busy, or your kids have a lot of activities on their plate, or you're going to do it as soon as you grocery shop, finish Christmas shopping, catch up on your shows, fill in X reason you think it is that you haven't done it yet. But you really want to do it, right? You really want to start this business. You're creative. You want to entertain, or you have experience in something and folks would really benefit from you sharing that experience with them, right? Maybe you've had conversations with your kid, you've talked about it, you see people on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and even streaming platforms creating their own shows, and you said, we're gonna do this, but you haven't done it yet. What if I told you that there's only one reason you haven't done it? I promise that by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what that reason is and how you can overcome it so both you and your kid partner can launch your content business and get started pursuing your business dreams. Welcome to the In the Company of My Kids podcast. I'm Nikki Lewis. If you have kids and you have an entrepreneurial drive, this podcast is where you'll learn how to make money, kids and parents together as partners, as content creators, starting with YouTube, as I've done with my kids and my hubby. Okay, so you're ready to get started in your business. You see it happening for other people on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. Folks out there living their best life. They're traveling the world with their family. They're making a content business out of traveling, or they're showcasing how they make bread or how they parent, whatever it is. They're content creators. They are putting it out there, living their best life, making a business out of it. My hubby has a passion for sneakers, so he is building a content creation business on YouTube as a sneakerhead because that's his passion. My family and I, we get together, we do challenges and just showcase having fun as a family. That's what we do as content creators on our Loose Seeds YouTube channel. We do skits as a family on our Loose Seeds Kids channel. So we're having fun, we're living our best life. You could be doing the same with whatever your passion is, whatever that thing is that you're into. But you just haven't done it yet. And honestly, you really don't know why, right? You know how much money and freedom and life lessons and legacy starting this business can provide. And yeah, you're busy. Yeah, the kids are involved in a lot of things, but that's not quite it, right? Because everybody has that. The reason is feeling kind of vague to you. Why haven't you gotten started yet? Well, get out your pen, click the save button on this podcast so you can refer back to it later for encouragement, because I'm about to tell you right now what it really is. And it's this. Because positive is always tempered with negative. There's always a yin to the yang. Opposites attract. You think a positive thought and simultaneously it's tempered with an opposing negative thought. Think about how things have played out in your past. Maybe when you were in school and you said, you know what? I'm feeling great. I'm going to do great on this test today. And then all of a sudden a thought pops into your head. Suppose there's something on this test that I didn't study, right? Maybe you are a runner and you're about to run a race and you're feeling very confident, like you're going to win. But then you immediately start thinking that other people might be faster than you. This is how the universe seems to work. It's like it's saying, I got to keep this thing neutral. And this is how it plays out in business. Or if you haven't started your business yet, this is how it's playing out for you. All right, so it goes like this. First, you have the feeling. You have this desire to do something, to launch this business, to get started. You're positive. You're feeling good about it. Then immediately you think a negative thought about it. So first there's the feeling. And then second, what happens is you go into fight or flight mode. Now, flight shows up in a lot of different ways. Flight can come in the form of distractions. All the thoughts that feel like a priority that are preventing you from doing what you really need to do. It happens to me. So I was planning this video and my mind immediately went to, I got to look at the kids' school schedule to see what's happening this week so we can get the driving schedule together. Oh, people are responding to a post on Instagram. I need to get back to those people. Oh, I got to send payment out to my editors before it gets to be too late. I got to hurry up and do that. Oh, I haven't eaten lunch yet. It's getting late in the day. I need to eat some lunch. And how much water have I drank today? I don't think I drank enough water. I need to drink some water. Oh, text messages are coming in. I got to check those. They are actually physical feelings. My body is like trying to pull me away from what needs to be done. Think about if you've done this, right? So that's number one, distractions. Another way flight shows up is with overwhelm. You're already doing so many things. How can you add one more thing to the list, right? It feels impossible. You're overwhelmed already. The third way it might show up is with negative self-talk. You think to yourself, no one's gonna listen to me. I don't have all the tools. I'm not funny. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not engaging enough. I'm not smart enough to create content that people are gonna wanna see. So this negative self-talk is a flight syndrome, trying to make you flee doing what you really want to do, what you need to do. The fourth way the flight shows up is with negative talk from others that you give into. Instead of ignoring the haters, you absorb that negative talk. You internalize it, and then it causes you to freeze. You don't make any action. You're not making any moves because you're listening to these other people who are also not making any moves. So even though you want to start this business, all these flight reactions are saying to you, don't deal with it right now. Do it later. But we know if we keep giving into this, later never comes. So what's the opposite of that? What is the solution? The opposite of flight mode is fight mode. Okay, so with fight mode, first acknowledge that you have the negative feeling. All right, negative feeling, I see you, but I'm gonna identify and focus on the opposing good feeling. Feed the good feeling. All right, that's the next thing. So how do you do that? The first thing is with positive talk. People always say that I'm a glass half full person, and it's true. I really do focus on positive things because I know that the negativity, the negative thoughts, the negative thinking, the negative talking, negative watching doesn't serve me. There's nothing good in it. There's nothing positive about it. So why waste time on it? So as soon as you think the thought, lean into the positive opposing thought. Lean into it, okay? So start just absorbing that and speaking those things. Number 2 is to make you a priority. We make space for things that we really want to do. You're never gonna finish the job requirements. Your job has you doing stuff constantly. That's never gonna be done. It's always gonna be something popping up. You're never gonna finish the wife and parenting, momming responsibilities. There is no end point to that. So driving your kids to soccer or doing laundry, cooking, cleaning, all the stuff that you might be doing, there's no end to that. So you can't say, I'm gonna get started after that's done. Number 3 is that you wanna stay around people doing what you wanna do. Yeah, stay around people that are doing things you wanna do. Seek out people in your niche and make friends with them. Find some people that can be your cheerleader and stay plugged into these people. I try to stay plugged into creative mompreneurs specifically. I vibe with those who are working with their kids because that's my specific thing. I also have friends who are cheerleaders and give me positive support. They believe in what I'm doing. They might be doing the same kind of thing, and we support each other because, you can have people that are your friends or your family, but they don't get it. They don't get what you're doing, and so they're going to have a hard time cheering you on because they don't understand it. So you have to find people that are doing the thing that you're doing or that you want to do. And then get together with those people in person if you can. Have some coffee or wine or tea or something. And, it's nothing like getting together with a person to share what you got going on, what your plan is, and seeing if you can spark some inspiration for each other by getting together in person. And then, of course, as content creators, we are on social media, right? That is our platform, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, right? So be on social media in a smart way. So be intentional with your social media. Get into groups that are in your niche. Engage with the people that are in those groups. Engage on their pages and get into a relationship. Get a relationship going in a non-creepy way, okay? I'm not talking about being a creeper, but people that you legitimately vibe with. Maybe they're those people that are growing at the same level that you're growing, and you guys can grow together. You can collaborate and bounce ideas off of one another. But social media is a great place to get into groups and to get into those kind of relationships. The next thing is plug into things like podcasts. If you're working on your drive to work, listening to some podcasts is very helpful. Or even, around the house as you're doing housework, plug into those podcasts that are in your niche that can keep your mind in a positive space and let you know what's possible for you as you get your business going. This is going to keep your mind focused on business and hearing what others are doing, others that are doing it. That's going to inspire you. I constantly listen to podcasts, plug into masterclass. I love masterclass, YouTube videos, all these things that are educating me on things I need to know about my niche. But not only is it education, it keeps me leaning into the positive and not into the negative. It makes me feel like, okay, in spite of all the stuff I have going on in my life, I can still get this thing done that I need to do because I'm watching these people that have done it, and I know they are busy too. Another thing is books, right? Read books to keep your mind on your niche and on the things you want to do. All right. Okay. So number 4 is to block out the naysayers. Like I said before, people think they're doing you a favor by saying things to dissuade you from doing your thing, but that's just because they don't understand your thing, and that's okay. They're not your people. They're not your people for this. So block out conversation from anyone who doesn't get what you are trying to get into. Go back to surrounding yourself yourself with people in your niche who get it. Number 5 is to just say no. I know as moms, we like to say yes to a lot of things. We want to volunteer at the kids' school. We want to hang out with our girlfriends. We want to, do things at church. We want to get involved in everything. We feel like we have to be everything to everybody a lot of times, but no, you don't, okay? You got to take care of yourself first, and then those things can come later. Think about once you get your business off the ground and it's excelling and you're bringing in the money, you've got people that you've outsourced tasks to that are doing a lot of things. Now your time is freed up. You've pursued your dreams with your kid partner. Your time is freed up. You have more money, and then you can say yes to a lot more things. But for now, we have to be comfortable saying no. And then number 6 is to just do it. Just jump in and get started. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have all the education, but sometimes you just got to get going, and then all those other things will come to you. So remember that. Just get started. Push through that negative feeling. Lean into the positive. Get started with it, and then you will start feeling more positivity as you go along. So I'm about to give you some resources you can use, but first, I have to ask you something. Are you enjoying this show? If so, please do me a favor. Turn on that bell notification so you don't miss the next episode. That really helps the show grow. It helps me reach more people, which means I can keep creating this content for you. All right, let's get into the resources. So the first thing is follow Mommy Seed, okay? Make sure you are following my content on YouTube, podcast, Instagram, because I am just dripping out my experience being in business with my kids, the things that we've accomplished, the way that we've done it, the things that we've learned, and hopefully you can pick up some of those things and that'll help you on your journey as well. If you want to get some specific direction on how to get started with YouTube, I got you covered. So if you go to nikkilewis.net/freebie, I have a whole document laid out there for free for you. You can grab that and it'll give you some step-by-step instructions on how to get started with your kids on YouTube. The other thing is to follow others in your niche, right? So if you're on social media, find those people in your niche. Make sure you're following them. Make sure you're seeing what they're doing, how they're operating, how they're getting it all done as moms in this business. And then one thing I'll let you know is when my kids got started with me in business, and they still do today, I had them reading business books. The first business book I had them read was The Positive Dog. So The Positive Dog talks about, I believe it's a Native American story. And the story is, grandfather was talking to his grandson and said, there are 2 wolves inside of me. One is very mean and aggressive and negative, and the other wolf is very happy and positive and optimistic, and they're always fighting each other. And so the grandson said, well, which one is gonna win? And the grandfather said, the one I feed. Right? So that's the gist of it right there. What are you feeding? Are you feeding the positive inside of you, or are you feeding the negative? And whichever you feed is the one that's going to grow. This book breaks that down in a very good, kid-friendly, easy-to-read way. So I highly recommend The Positive Dog. You can read it yourself. I read it myself before I gave it to my kids, and great lessons, but that's a way for them to get it easily. So those are the resources there. Let me know what you think. If you're going to apply this information, I want to hear about it in the comments. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you back here building online businesses one family at a time.